What's up, traders? What's up, Trading View? What's going on, YouTube? Good afternoon. I'm gonna keep repeating myself until the stream. Okay, I can see myself on Trading View, and can't quite see myself on YouTube yet. But I have faith, I have confidence that this stream is up and running. It looks like we're live. Like everybody, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning into another session of Chart Mastery with myself. A lot has happened in markets last couple of days, right? We did see a little bit of a pullback in the S&P. BTC, we're seeing a kind of do a little U-turn, a BART or inverse BART, and we're gonna cover what I think's happening in both markets. We're gonna start off with BTC. We're gonna cover the S&P. I'm gonna cover first BTC, LTC, and Ether, as well as the indices, so the S&P and the QQQ, maybe some Russell, right? Because it did have a Russell play that we got out of. I think it might be time to get back into the Russell. And then I'm going to cover a couple of my plays that I see big potential in. I mean, I'm already positioned in these, so are the VIPs. I signaled them over the last couple of days. And then I'm going to take all your ticker suggestions. What's up, Tails? Good morning. All right, so BTC, where were we? How'd we get here? I mean, I've been covering this chart from the beginning of our streams, right? And we update it every day. And last conclusion we came to was a descending broadening wedge at the 50% Fib. So if we do get our breakout here, this could be quite bullish. This could be like really bullish if we get a breakout here, right? So because this was a 50% retracement, it should result in a bigger up move. Typically, we see 61.8, and that's just where the market. It's the golden ratio, a move to the 50% and a U-turn at the 50%. That's quite bullish. It's just like seeing a U-turn at the 50% bearish retracement, like this, which this was, and then it was like a big impulse down. So if we get this breakup over here, which it looks like we're already breaking out some partially initial early stages, then we might see a violent leg up, right? Now, before we get too excited, I do see like a couple of resistances that BTC has to break through before getting up into new highs, right? And the two resistances I'm looking forward to interact with are going to be the smaller 61.8. We're not quite there yet. Right? It's going to be at 61,396, and the following one is going to be a little higher at 63,000, right? So we need to see price action get above 61.3 and above 63 before we can say, hey, we're going to new highs, right? So I'm not going to give you guys any more bullish targets until we break out above these, because I do stream every other day, right? So I'll go back on stream on Friday, and if we're up there and we're closing above, then I'll go ahead and share some of my higher targets. What's up, Joe? Got Joe on YouTube dropping in a comment. I'm good, Joe. How's everything back home? How you doing, man? All right. That covers BTC. Next up, I'm going to cover Litecoin. We did get an epic long entry on LTC, right? Amazing long entry. I signaled it for the VIPs, for everybody in Discord. Let's delete this alert. Let's remove drawings. And yeah, we got in at 182.50. That's what I got in at. And basically, we just extended this chart, right? We extended this swing high down to this swing low. And during the sell-off, you know, I had like 181.99. That was the actual wick. And so I decided to put in bids for 182.50, and they filled while I was on a date, which was even better, right? Wasn't even watching the chart. And now, you know, we're up this whole move, right? We got it on this really low wick low, and it's up some 20%. And we're also looking like that descending broadening wedge, right? So crypto's looking like it wants to break up. Hopefully we get a continued breach above resistance and we get an up move. It's not quite a descending broadening wedge on Litecoin like it's nice on BTC. Like the one on BTC is just too pretty. It's very structural, right? And it looks like we're already getting the push above the previous closes. So we shall see. we shall see. But I do think next move is up. All right. What's up, Dorlandog on the tube on TradingView? What's going on? Let's look at Ether. Oh, before I do that, let's go back to LTC. If we do get this break, I also want to see once again the two minor 61.8s get taken out, right? So the first one's going to be at 242, and that's going to be a take profit for my leverage long, and the second one's going to be at 259, right? So I want to see these guys play out. I want to see these two levels play out. I think if you get above 240, right, we should be in a really good bullish territory. Anything above 240 because, right, let me just clean that up a little bit. Now we get our 182. So I think if you get above 243, then we basically clear this resistance zone, right, on our Fibs. So if we get up there, I'd probably move stops to like 235 or something on these longs from 182. Yeah, baby. Good, bro. Catching up. Had some work to do. Man, yeah, last time I saw you was when we were shorting SHIB. I was worried about you. I'm glad you're doing good. Glad you're back. That was to Joe. All right. Let's hop into Ether. This is the chart that I haven't been trading. I've been treating it like a pure hodl. Just because it's just not too volatile, too choppy for my liking, or it has been until now. So maybe we'll try to find a dip to get in on the Ether, right? I know it's past the 61.8. I don't see any reason to not continue upwards, right? Especially if you get this close above 46.68, right? If above this 76 bearish retracement level, then I think we can get back into new all-time high exploration, price discovery to the upside. What's going on this range? This range is what worries me a little bit. These range extensions, because that's where it can get choppy, right? So this last range extension, let's clear. Oh, that's not the one I wanted to clear. I want to clear this one. All right, so yeah, we should be able to see 51.28. Now, if we do get like a rejection off 51.28 and some kind of pullback, I definitely want to long it, whether it turns a 49 or a 43. It just be basically retracing previous extensions, which is what some of these moves are, right? Something like this, we want to long these because look at that upside, right? This would be a retracing of an extension, right? So it's that 1845. So that's the kind of move I want to pick up on Ether. Move back to 43 or move up to 51 and back down to 49. But in terms of like resistances, I don't see anything really like coming in on Ether and making it. I don't see a reason for it to pivot here. I'm going to go ahead and do the Harmonic Scanner just so we don't really trick ourselves. This is one of our built-in indicators on TradingView, baked in. If you haven't used it, you want to use it. You're going to see some harmonics, right? So here we're seeing a 3 drive. This is basically a wolf wave, so we could see a minor pullback. I'm not shorting it. I'm also not longing it, so I'm staying out to find my long entry on this. What's going on the hourly? Similar. 2 hour, 4 hour showing a wolf wave. 360. Same, right? Pretty strong. Ooh, this looks interesting. I don't know if this is gonna play out. This shark, this 5-0. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna stop scanning. All right. Let's look at indices, right? Let's look at the ES. We did have some VIX, right? We did buy some VIX. We did have a bearish 61.8 retracement play out, right, into a range extension, right? So yesterday, you guys in VIP, yesterday when I said, hey, we want to see support get taken out for our VIX to fly, right? at 45.75, right? We wanted to see that break. And I did mention the VIPs. We did take profit on your VIX, or make your VIX positions free as we get to this area, because if bulls are able to buy it back up, we're going to see a pivot. So congratulations to you guys that made your VIX free. That was a really smart move, right? And that's kind of why I signaled to do that. The next pivot I'm looking to interact with on the S&P or the ES, I like using ES because it's a more continuous chart, and doesn't really stop trading and doesn't really gap. Is going to be 46.56, right? That would be the 61.8 of this move. So I'm really, we're sitting in our free VIX leftovers, whatever we didn't sell. If we get rejection here, I'd probably want to add and short it or buy puts, just like bear exposure. And the final one, they're basically doing the same thing as cryptos. It'd be like 46.70. We could totally see it do like some kind of zigzag at 46.70. We've seen this happen, like this move, right, where it kind of sells off again and then it turns. So we could see that once again, something like this unfolding. My face is covering it, right? So we could see something like that. That's what I'm waiting for at these two levels, at 46.60 and 46.70. Have not covered Luna yet. I've not covered any alts. Drew, UAEM6 on TradingView. What's up? You guys smash that like button. Everybody, show some love. All right, let's do NQ. Let's look at the QQQ futures. And we're basically seeing, something like what I was talking about on the S&P. What is this resistance? Is it a 61.8? It's not. It's a 50. I kind of don't like this. I don't like this in terms of, I'm impartial, right? I don't even have a short position here. But I still have my 61.8 marked up. So if we do see like an upwards impulse that rejects as 16.467, that's still the target from last stream, from Monday. We have not made a new low. We have not made a new high, right? So most ideally, that's our 61.8, and that's where we want to interact with this chart. And up until we get up here, I'm not messing with it. If it gets up here and it wakes up and it dumps a little, I'm definitely buying puts. So that's the QQQ. We'll check Solana and Gate. We'll check all your alts. Before I do that, I want to talk about something that I highlighted to our VIPs last Friday, and I waited to pull the trigger on it, and we did get into the calls yesterday, and that's what I'm seeing on Apple. We did get into these calls 3 months out. Gave us plenty of time for this blow off to take place on Apple. And when I saw this, right, when I saw this wedge forming, it really reminded me of a wedge that we saw in 2017 at the end of a really bullish era, right? And that was on everybody's favorite chart, right? It was right on BTC. So let's go back. Let's go to the weekly or something. Let's go to the daily, right? So I saw this. Let's remove drawings and drawings, right? So what I saw on Apple really reminded me of what we saw on BTC. Back then, I had some of my traders say that's a rising wedge, that's bearish, we should short it, right? What ended up happening was the inverse. It backfired, right? It blew off. It was literally one of it was like 100% move from 9,000, right, or from 7. It was more than 100% to 20K. That was the blow off. And one thing we did, when I saw this on Apple, I said, hey guys, we're short on the S&P via VIX. So let's wait and see if we get a retest of wedge support. But the market dumped and Apple didn't. Right? So yesterday at like noon, I signaled the 195 calls for March, right? And I basically got that target from extending this. So this is one of my plays right now. on Apple, and it just reminds me of BTC's blow off, like the finale. And hopefully, we get this up move, and then we take profit on it. And once we get our bear 61.8, we can short it. We enter a cool off period. So I think we're gonna get a blow off, then a cool off in tech. Before I change, I wanted to kind of go over AMD because we did have shorts. It's still looking like it's got potential to break down. So no changes in my AMD consensus. Another big opportunity that I did say we're gonna talk about some Q4 opportunities. Luna, right? Luna USD. Let's do the Binance chart. It's in blow-off territory. I did signal this on the dip, and I do think the next target's 75, right? And the reason we got in on the dip was because it was like the next fib zone was huge, right? So we wanted to get in. You got in like right here, right? Before this breakout started. And Luna's kind of leading, right? Now we just need to close above 64, above 68, and then our next target's 75. And from there, I mean, we could still keep going. But if you guys that got into Luna with me, good job, man. Not holding back on that signal, even though things were looking shaky. And here we're seeing like that good wick off our fib extension, right, to the upside. It's pretty bullish. We did get that test on the daily, and bulls showed up. All right. Another one is Algo, right? I mean, during that dump, when the entire market pulled back, Algo did something crazy. We did get in on, some of us got in on this upwick, and others got stopped out, just depending on if you moved your stop or not. And we did get back in. I did re-signal it yesterday. Now we're seeing that breakout. What's interesting about Algo is it's really showing like characteristics of what Theta did, at least in my mind, in my head. It looks like what Theta was doing before it went on the Giga run. And let's look at that. Let's go to the daily. All right. I'll look at these charts. Anybody else see it? Right, I look at these charts and I can't help to think that we're doing something. This consolidation here between these two closer fib targets, right? They really remind me of what Theta was doing back here, or even back here. So I do think this does have a lot of upside, right? We'll know to pull the trigger on a sell or a short very soon, right? Whether we use this wick, and we're still not at our T1, right? That was my T1 was at 204, and my target 2 on this one was at 234, right? And then target 3 is going to be 2.7. But let's keep the big picture in mind, guys. If this thing's doing what Theta did, we could be in for a parabolic move, right? So this is another one of my positions that I'm going to be patient with, and I want to let it do its thing, right? Because, I mean, Theta ran through all the extensions after this consolidation. So we don't want to get caught sideline and then buy in a little higher. All right. Did I cover what I wanted to? I think I did. All right. Let me hop into some of you guys. I covered Luna. Let's look at OMG USDT. Yeah, is anything still happening with Omizigo? Kind of looks similar. Man, it's not even above the 2008 levels. That's kind of sad. Or the 2017 levels. That's sad. Yeah, at this point, I'd want to see this wick at $8 hold as support, or else it's just gonna come back down. I'm not seeing anything crazy bullish on this one. Right. Solana, Sol USD. I remember when a couple weeks ago, everybody was like, hey, check out Sol. What's going on with Sol? And I said, hey, you know, don't buy high. Wait for some kind of dip. Don't chase price action. Let it come to you, right? That's what we preach. And saw just that take place. Solid close above 194. I think what's going to be more interesting about something like Sol right now is whether or not it takes out the next 61.8. I'm just going to remove drawings. And if you go to 240, pretty sure the fib is pinned up here, the swing high. And we're right at it, right? We're right at it. So until we close above 229, until we close above here, I don't see continuation. So all eyes on the market, all eyes on what happens at 229. Like, this is a critical level. Let's look at Gate. What's Gate tokens ticker? Let's look at Sand USD. Look at the tether chart just because it's got a volume. Geez, that's a nice chart, man. It's really extended though. Super extended. I think I covered this one last stream. I don't know if it was you that showed it, Zero. Alright, very interesting is this move. It's not quite a 61.8. It looks like a 786. It's these two highs, right? So yeah, it's tricky. Alright, let me see what else we can get out of here. It's a really hard chart to get in tune with. Let me go with this swing high and the lower swing low. Yeah, 8.67, right? Like that would be a proper target. These fibs are super compliant. I mean, here we see support. We see support slightly below, but on this close, we get that upwards push. Strong support. Support, right? Those wicks. So at this point, if we don't get continuation on sand, I would look for 550 and 590, 51.29, right? So this, I'd want to counter trade support here, and I'd want to counter trade support here. At least that's where we want to see it come in. All right, let's look at GT USDT Gate chain. Looks like a second test of the 61.8. Not even. This one's kind of gonna be easy to eyeball to the long side, right? So if we don't get a close above 7.36, right, then we're never gonna see 9.28. But if we get a push above 7.3 and we get continuation, next target is here, and yeah, I don't know if you want to sell it here or thanks, Zero. I don't know if you want to sell it here or take profit, or short it or hedge, but these would be the next two targets, 736 and 928. Alright, smash that like button for me if I'm covering your charts, even if you think my analysis is not right. If you think it's shit, just smash that like button, help us out. Alright, ADA, man, ADA was tricky. I tried to get longs and threw basically everything at it. And if this was a 61.8 off this swing low, I'm just gonna like slap myself. Okay, it wasn't. It was 786, right? And I don't like really trading those. So looking at something like ADA, Looking at it right now, it's really interesting. Because if we don't get this break above $1.61, if we don't get this close, it's not going to be pretty, because we could experience some more downside. Yeah, almost don't want to touch it. And then the next level up would be 186. I think ADA gave a really good exit pump. It was only a 50, right? It was right here. It was a 50% bearish retracement, and that would have been a good exit pump before the market tanked. But we'll see. We'll see how this plays out. I do think it needs to get above 1.61. I don't see an entry right now, like as we speak. I don't. Let me look behind me at my charts, and then I'll turn back around and see what you guys have for me. And yeah, let me look around real quick. I'm pretty happy with what we've covered so far. One token I'd like to highlight is token that I got a pretty big position in. We do have the halving coming up, and it's Raven, right? If this one gets going again, we're gonna get real interesting. We did have a 61.8, right, a 0.17. It's looking like it's gonna break out. It's just consolidation, right? It does this. There's nothing really strong forming, but I'm still pretty deep in Raven. I am adding on these dips. Back to Apple, right? Looking really interesting. Still going up on the daily. Still a new high a day. Yeah, it's gonna be a pretty interesting Q4 going up on the holidays when we have like indices coming down and tickers that make them up or flying. All right, Baggy Maple. Let's look at your charts. Look at AVAX. On the daily, I don't like this Coinbase chart. Let's see what we can get on Binance. Way better. So much more data, right? So much more data. I dig it. All right. What do Fibs tell us? They tell us that 145 was a valid top based on this range extension, right? That would be your 2.618 based off this swing high or this swing low going up, right? So what's happening now? Are we at a 61.8? Are we below it? Are we above it? That's what really matters, right? Is this going to keep going up, or is this going to turn around? And I think the best way to figure it out is to fib it, right? We're not quite there yet. We're not quite there. I think we should see 128. I wouldn't trade this for $2, right? But we should see 128 to 129 zone. It just depends on these wicks. Considering the last move, I'd say the last down move started here. Well, here, right? I'd want to see 127.99 hold, and if this, retested. So if this tests and we don't get a close above, I just might short it, just because that would be a clean entry. I don't like messy entries, right? I just got a PayPal alert on my phone. Let me check it. Geez, coming back down. All right. IMX. Oof. Don't look too bad. There's not enough chart data on this for me, right? I feel like if I was trading this, the short signal would have been at 8:30. I don't know anything about this chart. I try not to trade new listings. Immutable. It looks like it's getting muted right now. Yeah, it's a new listing. Not enough data for me. I'm sorry. Mana, there's a lot of data on Mana. We can look at Mana all day. Let's look at the daily. Looks like we did see our first 61.8 bear, right? What I mean by that is a wick high, and then a consolidation, and then a sell-off, right? And then a retest of the 61.8. Oh, it was actually 50%. Interesting. Can't say whether we're in continuation or not, but I mean, realistically, in my server, last time we signaled Mana was at like 30 cents. And I did sell some at 350, right? And now it's tricky, you know, if you didn't take profit on something that made 1,000% plus, and I don't know why you're in the market. I feel like a lot of people forget why they're in the market, or they're rolling the market, or rolling the markets to extract value, not to fall in love with tokens, you know, and not to fall in love with positions. So just kind of stay objective with that. Are you extracting value, or are you falling in love with these positions and babying them and getting emotionally wrapped up in charts to watch them go up, and then when they come down, you don't really benefit, right? So just keep that in mind. All right, let's look at ENJ, and then we look at Zeke. I'm taking requests from both chats. Engine coin. Engine looks good. Kinda. That was a premature assessment, right? It happens when you look at a lot of charts. But from here, man, that would have been a good wick entry. That would have been like my Litecoin entry. Wick catch, right? What's going on up on this range? I feel like as long as 324 holds, we should see 487 or at least a 61.8 to the upside. I don't see anything actionable right now. I feel like we missed a solid entry off 324, right? Off that previous extension, especially it being like a far away extension, one that's extending like a far out previous range. Oh, you guys can't see my face covering it, right? So extending one of these ranges, right, and getting a wick off of it, kind of like we did see here, and then we see it again here, you know, that would have been a great entry. It looks decent. I think it needs to breach all the minor 61.8s before it does that. And there are a few swing highs, right? Market left this one as a signal, this one as a signal, and this one possibly as a signal. Maybe an inverse head and shoulders. I haven't been a fan of those past couple of months. All right, let's look at ZQSD. Whoa, let's not do that. Not a fan. $214, $229 should hold as support, right? These two levels, 214 and 229, should hold, and if they do, then we can expect 250 and maybe a 61.8 off last high, right? But I mean, those are going to be the two imminent ones. The reason it doesn't look like something that I'd be a fan of is because these like wicks, they keep happening, right? Like we saw the first rejection for the 61.8 in the form of a bear flag, right, of this swing high to this swing low, the continuation move. And then we saw a second one. It was a little more aggressive where this wick is even longer. So it was more eager sellers above 243, and the time before it was at 250. So I do think this could come back down and revisit 215. The recording over the weekend, if you signed up for it, you should have received an email about how to access the recording. If you did not receive an email and you signed up, you can go ahead and ping me in Discord with all your information, and I will make sure that you get the recording. But we sent out an email on Monday, about Monday evening, actually yesterday. We sent out an email. I know we did. With all the information. It was sent out yesterday, I believe. So check your inbox. It's probably going to be from Julia Whippo at FinTech PR, right? Because FinTech PR hosted the event. That was just the speaker. It wasn't a Coin Observatory event, really. It wasn't a my event. All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to today's stream. Make sure to keep some things in mind, like live to fight another day. Trail your stops, right? Trail partial stops. Make sure that if the market does turn around, it doesn't bite you in the butt, right? You want to be able to trade again. Don't blow out your accounts going in with no stops. Don't trade positions too big that are going to turn around and bite you, right? Like keep your positions favorable into your sustainability. So got bond. James Bond. Man, this looks so pump and dumpy. I don't even know. Yeah, I wouldn't touch charts like this. I mean, it looks like it's coiling. I wouldn't touch any chart like that. It's like zero structure other than massive up moves and down moves. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I'm not a fan of this chart. I don't have to be right. It can just be like, I'm just not. It's nothing I would trade. I only trade what I have an edge in, right? And like something like I missed a trade, which was SHIB. Again, I missed that short, right? And it was really, it was technically a move that anybody that trades with me or knows me as a trader that I'd pounce all over. It was another bearish 61.8, right? And it was such a clean entry. It touched it twice. I didn't even have alerts for it, and now it's dumping again. So, those are the kinds of move I trade, right? Things that we can calculate. I'm not going to touch a chart like bond. Yeah, I'm sorry, bruh. All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. If you're not in Discord, follow the links. Join us on Discord. We're in there 24/7 charting. If you're new to our Discord, send me a message. We'll get you a guest pass for like a week or so you can see what goes on behind the scenes. Other than that, I would like everybody to have a great rest of the week, and I'll catch you same time, same place